This is This Week in the National Football League. I'm your host, Jared Landry, and this week in the National Football League, a lot of really cool things went down.
Colin had his chance to be here.
Odell Beckham Jr. hates Eli Manning so much, he decided to throw the ball himself, and his pass that traveled 24 yards in the air is actually further than Eli Manning has thrown since Week 5 of last year. This week, the Giants receiver with Lil Wayne at his side said he didn't know if Eli Manning was the problem in the Giants offense and that the Giants lacked heart. With the outburst of his frustrations, it seems Odell is just now realizing that the big giant Giants logo on his 5-year contract extension was with the New York Giants and not that really cool tall guy he saw at the mall. The good news though is that it appears Odell's talents are finally rubbing off on everyone. Odell met with Eli, Pat Shurmur, and the team to talk things over, and well, whatever Odell said, it motivated his team enough to be one miraculous Graham Gano 63-yard field goal away from winning. With sole coverage of Graham Gano's amazing field goal that had to be seen to be believed, we turn to Fox.
From the left hash.
Tens of millions of people have switched to Unlimited on the network rated #1 in the nation by Root Metrics 8 times running.
It's totally Verizon.
Wait. Look at that.
Switch to the best Unlimited on the most awarded network, and now buy select smartphones and get one free.
Like every other week this year, the NFL is under fire for its ridiculous and excessive penalties against defensive players, like this brutal hit by Michael Bennett. Which may not seem bad, but let's look closer. And this clear targeting penalty on Landon Collins, it looks like he's going for the ball. Let's look closer. With all these crazy penalties, we check in with Joe for the state of the NFL. Joe?
It's still there.
Thanks, Joe. It was reported that Roger Goodell refuses to talk to Michael Kendricks about his suspension and why he gets suspended indefinitely, while barring a change of heart and a resurrection, Ray Rice and Aaron Hernandez can still technically play in the NFL. Condoleezza Rice has moved 6 inches closer to the commissioner's throne. Mason Crosby missed 5 kicks in the Packers' loss to the Lions, and Aaron Rodgers couldn't figure out where in the heck James Jones went. In beating the Packers, the Lions now have 2 wins against Hall of Fame-bound quarterbacks and 3 losses against the league's best offenses. The Cardinals got their first win of the year, proving to millions of insecure teenagers that there's more to life than just being incredibly good looking. It takes a good personality, friendship, and confidence, and not getting rid of them all in one offseason. Things only got worse for the 49ers fans as Matt Breida is injured again with an ankle injury. Like Kurt Cobain, it seems they have been left in the 90s. The Texans beat the Cowboys in a hard-hitting, classic, well-shot, alright commentated, really boring battle for Texas. It's time for
Twitter questions.
For my first question is from @ChrisG Rasmussen. What number is the best football number? No lies, please. That's a hard one, but I'd say 8 something squared, because I've been trying to work it out. The next one is from @CIK Productions. Why won't Jordan Reed give me a kiss? It's week 5, which means Jordan Reed is on so many painkillers he can't feel his lips. Another from CIK Productions. Who would win in a fight? 100 Roberto Aguayos or 1 Sebastian Janikowski? Well, although Roberto's punches would hook wide left, but Sebastian looks like such a gentleman, I think he'd let 71% land a punch before kicking them all to oblivion. More from @CIK Productions. Why does my Uncle Randy always tell me to get off your ass and give me a goddamn Bud Light dilly, you stupid idiot, every time the Seahawks run the ball on 2nd and 10? Because for $240, Bud Light paid your Uncle Randy to have to say dilly after every time he says Bud Light dilly, since he couldn't pay rent. And the best time to do it is when the Seahawks have 2nd and 10, because he actually truly cares about you and doesn't want you to watch Christine Michael or Thomas Rawls or whoever it is that the Seahawks subreddit is obsessed with to get 3 yards on a zone read. One last one from @CIK Productions. Does Doug Baldwin still like football? Doug Baldwin likes football so much he eats it for breakfast and then poops it out at around 2:49 p.m. San Diego Chargers quarterback Phillip Rivers is currently one of the best quarterbacks this year, having thrown for 1,495 yards and 13 touchdowns in 5 games, and considering he only uses half his arm to throw a football, those yards count as double. The Browns won in overtime with a field goal that still went in after being blocked. For sole coverage on that, we turn to CBS.
A 37-yard attempt to win the game for Cleveland.
Go! Yes! Nice play!
Still buffering.
Too.
What happened?
Hey, Joy, you should let your new pals know that according to a leading independent study, the most awarded network is now best in streaming.
I think you just did.
You both can get a much better view of the game from the iPhone
On Verizon Unlimited.
All good things must come to an end as Blake Bortles has suddenly remembered he's Blake Bortles. The game of the week this week was the Jets' manhandling of the Broncos. I'm sorry, but is it too early to call for...
I don't wanna be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of me and I peace of mind. I don't wanna be anything other than what I've been trying to be lately. All I have to do is think of me and I peace of mind. I'm tired of looking around, wondering what I gotta do, or who I'm supposed.
Thanks for tuning in and watching This Week in the National Football League with host Jared Landry. As always, remember to tweet at me any questions or fantasy advice you need. I'm always listening.